Hey everybody, the Lady Kaylah here. I am going to be doing Game of Thrones Episode 2, Season 2 review, and basically I am going to be doing this a little bit differently because I got a message concerning the way I was reviewing, and the person said that I wasn't reviewing, that I was recapping, and thinking about it, he is right, and I do enjoy messages, comments like this, little things that I can improve on, that you guys notice. I really do appreciate. I really don't get offended. Well, it depends how you approach me about this, but honestly, if you see a couple things I can improve on that are actually easy for me to do, I'll do them. And I noticed that basically what I was doing was retelling you guys what happened in the episode, which is silly because you might as well go watch the episode, or you already have, so you want to hear more of a review. And I figured I can just pick out a couple things that I actually want to talk about, that I actually noticed, things that upset me, things that I liked, and this would actually be better. And I'm going to try it this way, and if you guys want to let me know if you like it this way better or the other way, just let me know. And I'll get into this review. And first of all, I want to start off with Arya, and we meet Jaqen. Jaqen is the man in the cage who calls out to Arya, and I just love Jaqen. He's like amazing. Like, I have a major crush on Jaqen. Like, he is sexy. Like, I just, whew, Jaqen. And I want to see more of him. I can't wait. Arya scenes, looking forward to them just because of Jaqen. And may I say Jaqen one more time? Jaqen. Okay, so anyways, we also see the start of Arya and Gendry's relationship, and they have this common situation in which the Gold Cloaks are looking for them, and so Arya ends up telling Gendry about who she is. Gendry really doesn't know why the Gold Cloaks are after him, but they seem to create this sort of bond and alliance, and I like how it's kind of like a brother-sister kind of relationship, and I really did enjoy the scene where they were together, and you know, he's poking fun at her, calling her milady. She pushes him. I really enjoyed that scene. I think it was really touching. It was captured brilliantly. I mean, there need to be more scenes like that where you feel connection between characters, and I don't think that happens enough in the show, and here it was one of the few times where I actually felt a good connection between two characters, like a legitimate one, like one that you can sense, and I don't know, I can't explain it. But we also see that Yoren's a complete badass. I just love him. I don't know if he's just so protective because that's just who he is, or it's because, you know, he's dedicated to, I guess it was Ned's last wish was that Yoren look after Arya, so he's fulfilling that, or he just has a Night's Watch honor and he really believes that, you know, once someone's part of the Night's Watch, they don't get picked on. And knowing how the Night's Watch is lacking men, I could see that point. But Yoren's badass, that's the point, and I love that because that is so Yoren. I think they captured Yoren in that scene. And so that's that. Next we get a Tyrion scene, and Tyrion, he notices Varys hanging around, and it seems like there's some kind of threat going on. I don't know what the threat is. The threat is that Varys knows Tyrion's little secret, which I'm guessing is what's going on. So I like how Tyrion isn't backing down. He's just like completely firm in what he's gonna do, and this is so annoying. I can't find a way to hold my notebook comfortably. But anyways, so Varys is hanging around. He knows everything, and this is why Varys is called the Spire. He is the spy master. He's the spider. He, for some reason, knows everything. I really don't know how to explain it, and he's like creepy. He's just he has his own agenda, and that's varies for you. And so he's a spy master, who he's working for, what's going on, why does he want to know who Tyrion's hanging around with, who's Tyrion's whore, who knows. And then we also see through Tyrion that Rob's message gets rejected. I'm not quite sure if they settled on if they're going to send Ned's bones back to Winterfell or not, but we'll see. And then we also get the Night's Watch message, and nobody wants to send men to the wall. And it kind of sucks because we see what kind of state these people are in, and we know that there's so much more out beyond the wall than wildlings. And there's just so much going on. Let's see. Oh, so later, Tyrion really does respect the Night's Watch, and so he sends Janos Slynt to the Night's Watch. Not as a courtesy, he didn't offer Janos Slynt, no, he sent him, like, against his will, to the Night's Watch. And Tyrion was pretty legitimate about that. Obviously, he's getting rid of one of Cersei's pawns, and he replaced that pawn with Braum, which is completely badass. He's playing this game so well. So well. And so I think he's trying to do his own little part in helping out the Night's Watch without actually sending masses of men up there, because he can't do that. So very, very appreciative of Tyrion to do that. And we also find out that it was Joffrey that sent the City Watch to kill all of Robert's bastards. Does Joffrey feel threatened? Is he trying to kind of set his La La Land idea that he is the true heir, make that final? I really think he has something messed up in his head where he thinks that he has his own reality, and he wants to make sure that reality is not messed with. And so that's what I think that Joffrey is. So that's that. And we also have Snow, Jon Snow, and his wolf is badass. I don't care if it's CGI like Rob's was. I really think this is a better choice, because direwolves, this is not just for Game of Thrones. Direwolves are a fantastical creature who are just huge, huge wolves. They're not just regular wolves, they're huge wolves, and there's a lot more about them. I don't know what applies to George R. R. Martin's wolves that makes them direwolves as opposed to other direwolves in other fantasy, but he's kept the element of how huge they are. And so CGI is so much better than the dogs that they used, and I'm enjoying it. I don't care if it looks a little off. And then also we meet Gilly, one of Craster's wives, and she's pregnant, and she fears for the life of the child if it's a boy. We don't really know what's going on. We don't know why she fears that. Obviously, we've noticed that there are no boys. And Sam takes her to Jon Snow to kind of get help, help her. And you know, Jon Snow, there's really nothing he can do about this situation, and he's just like, look, we can't help you. They're really not even supposed to be talking to them, let alone scheming. And Jon Snow kind of just shuts down the operation. But he does end up seeing later on Craster taking a child, which I presume is a male child, to the forest and leaving it there, and an other actually picks it up, and I'm pretty sure it's an other because, like my theory I said before, I think others are these intelligent beings and whites are the zombie-like creatures they create. So I'm pretty sure it's another. And it picks it up kind of gently. We don't see what happens to the child. We don't hear it being killed. So what happens, I have no clue. In the books it is also a mystery, so I'm glad they kept it like that. But at the end, Craster actually beats Jon over the head and like knocks him out. This did not happen in the books, so I'm wondering what's going to go on there. I'm actually interested. I'm not upset at this change. And we also get a bit of Daenerys, which I'm not going to focus on because nothing happens. Typical for Daenerys. A Dance with Dragons, anyone? Come on. Anyways, we also see Theon through his own eyes, his own point of view, which I enjoy. I love how he went to the Iron Island expecting something very similar to how he grew up with the Starks, but these Greyjoys, these people of the Iron Islands, are different. They're very much reflect the iron that they are named after. They're hard people, and they don't care about fancy things. An example of this is the iron price. They don't pay for things. They don't ask for things. They take things. They want something, they'll do anything in their power to take it. They won't sit there and beg you for it. They won't sit there and ask you for it. If you have something they want, they'll kill you, take it, do what they want. They're kind of very, like, I guess, not what Westeros would call proper. They're very, I guess, like pirate-like, very independent. I don't know. I really enjoy these people of the Iron Islands, and I would like to see more about them. I really did enjoy the entry of Theon's sister, who isn't originally named Asha, but they changed it to Yara, I believe. And I think Yara's a pretty badass person. I like how another strong woman's introduced, the more the better. And I want to see what's going to happen with her and Theon. Is Theon going to stick around? Balon Greyjoy is not agreeing to the terms of Robb Stark. If you see the scene, you see the kind of people they are. They're not given things, they take things. And so they have their own plans. So tally another king, because they used to be their own people, and it looks like they want to be their own people again. So we'll see. Is Theon going to stick around? Is he going to go back to Robb? We'll really have to see on that one. Obviously, I know I've read the books, but, you know, the show might do it differently. Who knows? But we also get a Peter scene, and I don't see the point of this whore Roz. I'm really annoyed with her character, because A Song of Ice and Fire has enough characters as it is, and then Game of Thrones, you think, having to deal with so many characters, I understand cutting characters, but then they add this character who doesn't even exist in the books, and so far she has no point. Everything we see through her eyes could have been shown through another person's eyes, and some of the scenes that she has now could have been Peter in her place. More Peter time, who happens to be one of my favorite characters, well, villainous characters, and his screen time is being taken over by this whore Roz, which I have no idea why she's in this at all. I don't see why she's in this show at all. And it does take away from Peter. Also, I think they're doing Peter very wrong. They're doing Peter very wrong. I'm very disappointed with the character of Peter Baelish. When he let slip to Cersei what he knew, that was a very stupid move, because Peter, like he said in one of the episodes, he only cares about himself. If there's even like 0.01% chance that he might die or be in risk of anything, risking anything to himself, he would not take it. He would not take it. Also, they kind of make Varys and Littlefinger look the same. Like they're the same kind of character, but like, I guess, different goals. They're completely two different kinds of characters. Varys is the spy master. He is the one who finds out all the secrets, and we know he has his own agenda. Peter, he does have his own spies, but that is not what he focuses around. He doesn't focus on knowing every single little information. That's not important to him. He does use information he knows to his advantage, because he is a schemer. He is a mastermind of using a situation to his advantage. He'll take any situation, use it to his advantage. Any shred of information, use it to his advantage. He's not like Varys, where by networking, knowing information. That's Varys. He's all about information, and he does have his own agenda, which we don't know about yet. And Peter has his own agenda, which seems to be himself. And I'm really disappointed with Peter right now. They messed up his character. He's not as much as a mastermind as he is portrayed in the books. Varys and he are made to seem like very similar characters. I'm very disappointed with Peter, to be honest. And then we also have the, I guess, Stannis Davos scenes, and we have Davos, who seems to be in the know with the pirates. He's actually an ex-pirate himself, so he's recruiting for Stannis. What's going on? We hear more about Melisandre's god. It seems that she is capable of, I guess, recruiting her own fanatics, or starting this, her flame of her god, into other characters. It seems like people catch on to her religious, fanatic, cultish kind of ways very easily. I mean, we can't deny the powers of her god. She does really crazy stuff. Whether it's magic or her god, I have no clue. And then we get Stannis, and I think they're messing up Stannis a lot, because he's very vague. We start off with the ceremony where he pulls out a sword. Okay, what is that sword? I mean, in the books, the sword's badass, and it symbolizes a lot. Here, he just pulls out the sword because, you know, it represents some sort of a prophecy. We don't know what's going on. Was that sword important? Do we just leave it there? Is he going to carry it with him? Is it just a symbol of what he's supposed to represent? What is this thing that he's supposed to represent? Who is this man he's supposed to be fulfilling? Like, who is this? What is this prophecy he's supposed to be fulfilling? Sorry, I'm just off right now. But it's just, there's a lot of prophecy and religious, I guess, I don't know, crap going around Stannis, and it's very important so we know what Melisandre's goals for Stannis are, why she stands behind him, who is this he's supposed to be, what is this prophecy he's supposed to fulfill, and we don't get that at all, and it's very frustrating. It's very vague on Stannis, and then we have this weird ass scene which I don't like because it did not happen in the books. And don't get me wrong, scenes can be added in that aren't from the books, but this is so off that I don't really know how it's going to fit in with Stannis later. I mean, I guess it can be happen and still be smooth ride, but just goes against Stannis's character. And I really think instead of doing this scene where they have sex and he betrays his wife, they could have focused more on who Stannis is supposed to be, what he represents, why Melisandre follows him. She's a very powerful woman, yet she's standing behind this one man, and it's just like, why? And the prophecy about him is very important as to why, yet we're not focusing on that. And so, I don't know, I'm very upset about Peter. I'm a little upset about Stannis. Stannis is not completely ruined, so I can still see them smoothing out, following through. Peter, I think he's a bit tarnished. I don't know how they're going to make him like the Peter from the books. It looks like they've already messed that up for me. But other than that, I thought the other scenes, the other characters I noted were very good. And this is how things are going to be now. This is how I'm going to review. And I'm not going to go over every scene. I'm not going to go over every character. I'm just going to take little notes on things I wanted to speak about. So tell me if that's what you prefer, or do you like the old way? Also, to leave you off with a question, which pair of characters, which relationship do you like the best? It doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be sexual, it could be whatever. Friendship could be sexual, could be romantic, it could be a frenemy kind of a relationship, it could be just a straight out nemesis type of relationship. I definitely want to say Tyrion and Bronn are among my favorites, and Arya and Gendry. I really was touched by the scene they had together. I really felt it was there was so much connection through the screen for me, and I really thought the two actors had a lot of chemistry, which I did enjoy. So I don't know, I really like that scene, and so those are my favorites so far, from the show, not from the books. Tell me your favorite relationship from the show. So that's that. Bye.